Today, we will be covering key takeaways from the famous business and self-help book written by Stephen R. Covey. In his book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, Covey presents an approach to being effective in attaining goals by aligning oneself to what he calls true north principles, based on a character ethic that he presents as universal and timeless. Hope you all will appreciate the work. Let's get started.
We see the world not as it is, but as we are, or as we are conditioned to see it. To change ourselves effectively, we first had to change our perceptions. If we want to make relatively minor changes in our lives, we can perhaps appropriately focus on our attitudes and behaviors. But if we want to make significant quantum change, we need to work on our basic paradigms. Sow a thought, reap an action. Sow an action, reap a habit. Sow a habit, reap a character. Sow a character, reap a destiny. It's not what happens to us, but our response to what happens to us that hurts us. If I really want to improve my situation, I can work on the one thing over which I have control: myself. It is one thing to make a mistake, and quite another thing not to admit it. People will forgive mistakes because mistakes are usually of the mind, mistakes of judgment. But people will not easily forgive the mistakes of the heart, the ill intention, the bad motives, the prideful justifying cover-up of the first mistake. Habit is the intersection of knowledge, what to do, skill, how to do, and desire, want to do. At some time in your life, you probably had someone believe in you when you didn't believe in yourself. Our behavior is a function of our decisions, not our conditions. Admission of ignorance is often the first step in our education. There's no better way to inform and expand your mind on a regular basis than to get into the habit of reading good literature. You want to be trusted, be trustworthy. If you want the secondary greatness of recognized talent, focus first on primary greatness of character. How you treat the one reveals how you regard the many, because everyone is ultimately a one. Where we stand depends on where we sit. Each of us tends to think we see things as they are, that we are objective, but this is not the case. We see the world not as it is, but as we are, or as we are conditioned to see it. When we open our mouths to describe what we see, we in effect describe ourselves, our perceptions, our paradigms. When other people disagree with us, we immediately think something is wrong with them. We must look at the lens through which we see the world, as well as the world we see, and that the lens itself shapes how we interpret the world. Ironically, as you care less about what others think of you, you will care more about what others think of themselves and their worlds, including their relationship with you. We may be very busy, we may be very efficient, but we will also be truly effective only when we begin with the end in mind. Trust is the highest form of human motivation. It brings out the very best in people, but it takes time and patience, and it doesn't preclude the necessity to train and develop people so that their competency can rise to the level of that trust.
We hope for your support in likes and comments. Thank you for watching.